Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Inferno, and in this video, as you guys see in the title, I'm going to be giving you a guide and showing you how to use the ability Misery Blade for Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, one quick disclaimer is the fact that this is from the online beta and things are subject to change, and if something does change, I will make a video on it, or I'll change the title to outdated. Alright guys, now pretty much I'm going to be going over what the ability is and how to use it right and just pretty much how to do good with it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. So pretty much this guide is going to be focused on how to mix up your opponents with this crazy ability for Scorpion called Misery Blade. Basically, it's a stance that allows you to choose a low or an overhead version to attack with, and you can even use it mid-string. And these strings are already mix-ups in themselves, so combining the mix-ups with a mix-up stance is going to be a doozy to block. So basically you can create whatever type of mix-up you want with this move. If you want to end a string with an overhead, you can. If you want to end a string with a low, you can. You can basically make whatever type of mix-up you want. This is why this is really overpowered and really overused right now. Alright, moving on to the strings and the moves that you need to know that will help you with the mix-ups along with this ability. Starting off with the first one, we have the back 2. By the way, the universal inputs will be in the comments, so you don't know what the numbers are or any of that. Just, just look in the comments. First one is going to be back 2, and this ends with a good overhead, but the best reason to use this is because of the distance. You slide when using this move, so it makes it a pretty good whiff punisher. You don't really want to use this when your opponent's blocking because he's easily going to be able to punish you, but it's a really good whiff punisher. So just that's a good little mix-up move right there. And you can also hit confirm the first part of this move, so right when he moves forward and he hits, before he does the last overhead part, you can cancel it with the stance. So you can trip up your opponent and make it a low because he thinks it's going to be an overhead. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have the forward 4-2. This is a low, then an overhead. This is great for mix-ups. You can also use the Misery Blade after the 2 for even more mix-ups. Now this is insane because you can do forward 4-2, so you can do low, then an overhead, and then you can use the stance to do another low or another overhead. This move is so overpowered, it's definitely going to be nerfed, I feel. To the next move, we have the back 1-4. This is a low, then another low. You can also tweak it using the Misery Blade after the back 1 for maybe an overhead because they think it's going to be a low again. So pretty much just kind of learn how to read your opponent's mind. If he blocks the low, then tweak it, dog. Make it do low, then overhead. The next string is going to be 1-1 or 2-1. The best reason to use these are because they have good fast startup frames and they are really fast and easy to help you get out of blocking situations. So when your opponent is using all of his safe strings on you and you're having trouble getting a hit in, just use these two, then maybe whip out a Misery Blade after hitting the 1-1 or the 2-1 and then start your mix-up chain. Alright guys, those were the basic strings that you will be needing to know to use with the Misery Blade in order to mix up your opponent. Now we're going to be moving on to the special move itself, alright? I'm not going to be showing any of the other special moves because the Misery Blade is the one that's the most important because this is the Misery Blade guide. If you want me to do a Scorpion guide in itself, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Alright, so as you can see, it is going to be down back 1. That's how you start the stance. You have a limited time to use the stance because when the sword comes out of its handle, it will automatically cancel the stance, okay? Now there's 4 inputs that you can use. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, X, A, B, Y for Xbox and whatever it is for PS4. It's the 4 buttons that you normally use for hits. Okay, so down back 1, this will start the stance and will give us some other options. Once you use the down back 1, then we get into the juice of what the mix-ups are. And then you can use, starting off with the first button, you can use 1 after the stance to fake them out and to cancel it if it's not the right time. If they see you take out that stance and you're taking too long, then they're automatically going to know that you're going to be doing this stance and they're going to try and punish you before you can take out the move. So you can press 1 to cancel the stance and to be able to hopefully block before they try and punish you. Also, you can use 2 after down back 1. This will give a devastating overhead to your victim. It's pretty fast startup as well, and the best time to use this is mid-string when you keep on provoking them with lows and they think you're going to use another low, so they go to block low and you hit them with the overhead. It's pretty crazy. You can also use 3. This will do a little poke, and the best part about this move is although it doesn't do much damage and doesn't have much of an effect, it's super fast. Its startup is 3. This is amazing for poking your opponents and keeping them in check, and this is even just good to just kind of throw out there because how fast it is. Moving on to the next button that you can use after the stance is going to be the 4 button. This will do a decently fast low, so you would want to use this mid-string when using lots of overheads to make them think they'll have to block another overhead, but nah, B, eat that sweep. So pretty much, it's a low, alright? So we have the low and the overhead, so the 2 is going to be the overhead, and the 4 is going to be the low. So now you know the 2 mix-up options, and now you know how to, kind of customize it, you know, because you can hit confirm it. So after getting the first 2 hits in of those mix-up strings that I showed you earlier, you can tweak it and make it a low or an overhead. And the only way they're going to be able to block that is if they memorize what the frames look like and what your animation looks like for the attack of the stance. It's pretty crazy, y'all. The last thing you can do in this stance is going to be the right bumper. This will amplify it, the move that you use to amplify it. The amplified version is very crazy. Basically, you will want to move the D-pad, or whatever stick you're using to move up or down, right before pressing RB, and you will do an overhead if you moved it up, and you will do a low if you moved it down before the RB. But here's the catch. If you did the overhead version, the low version will appear like a hologram, but it's fake. Same thing if you did the low version, an overhead will appear, but it will be a hologram and will not hit the overhead. Basically, it's a fake out. It's very hard to block. I don't even think it's really possible to block unless you see that it's a fake out. I'm gonna repeat that because I was going a little bit fast. So, if you move the stick up and then press right bumper, you're going to do an overhead, but I guess you could say like a fake out or a hologram or like a body double or whatever kind of comes out and looks like it's going to be a low, but you're actually doing an overhead, I guess you could say, and it's the other way around. It's pretty crazy, and this is why I think it's going to be nerfed. This move is very crazy, but for right now they haven't nerfed it, of course, because it's in the beta stage, but I guess we'll have to see until the actual game comes out. And I wanted to make this guide because I really wanted to teach you guys of how crazy this ability is, and if you learn how to use this ability, and hopefully this guide help you learn how to use this ability, you will be able to destroy your opponents in Mortal Kombat 11. Alright guys, that was it for this guide. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys having a fantastic day. Don't let anybody break your stride, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you did like the video, feel free to leave a like, share it with your friends, or even subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next video.